Well, speaking of weather satellites, we're keeping an eye on the tropics. There are 4 areas of interest, including the remnants, or what will be the remnants of Nicholas, that will be pushing east after making landfall in Texas, bringing lots of rain and flooding to the Gulf Coast, a place that doesn't need it. A place that could use some rain is here in the Carolinas, and we'll have a chance for some rain, either from Nicholas or from that red blob you see on your screen there. That is an area of possible development. And when I say possible, we're talking a 70% chance of development here into a tropical depression in the next 48 hours. So that will bring a little moisture to the Carolinas. We'll also have a cold front moving in. So we've had high pressure the last few days, beautiful Carolina blue skies where it wasn't smoky. And today you saw the kind of beginning transition to more showers, more clouds, and that ramped up chance. So let's take a look at this, guys. Here, the latest from the National Hurricane Center out just in the last hour or so. This low pressure system, again, currently off the coast of Florida and going to kind of scrape up the East Coast and come fairly close to the Carolinas. It's a low pressure system associated right now midway between the Bahamas and Bermuda. It's producing poorly organized shower activity. Now, the Air Force went out there. They flew their Hurricane Hunter aircraft. We've seen them and talked about them on this show through the system earlier this afternoon and reported that the circulation was disorganized and that the strongest winds were well to the east of the center. So it still has some organizational ground to make up. Environmental conditions expected to become more conducive for development, and tropical depression is likely to form during the next day or two, which is in line what we've been telling you on our nightly YouTube videos, that by the time we get to Thursday, but more likely Friday, this thing could be organized into a tropical depression, either Odette or Peter. Regardless of development, this system could bring high surf to portions of the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, including the beaches of the Carolinas. And guys, we've seen this with some storms this year. You think about Ida, you think about Fred. The categorization doesn't always matter. It's the impacts. And so we really want to drive home to folks tonight that the impact here could be rough surf, and that could be deadly in its own form if you get caught in a dangerous rip current. So if you have plans at the beaches this weekend, please do be careful. 2 other areas of interest we're watching out in the Atlantic. We've got another one with a very high chance of development. Good news is it's a long ways out there. The bad news is it's a long ways out there and has lots of room to organize and grow. So we'll keep an eye on that and see which way that ultimately does go. And another disturbance kind of just maybe flirting coming off the coast of Africa there. So if we look at some of our computer models, and you guys can feel free to chime in on what you think might be garbage or accurate. We'll start with the NAM, and you can start to see as we go through the next overnight hours. Here's the rain associated with the cold front. Then we have some of the rain associated with the remnants of Nicholas. And then just at the bottom of your screen here, you're going to start to see that low pressure system that we were just talking about as we make our way into later on Thursday. Clouds, scattered showers, some of which could be heavy, not widespread continuous across the 2 states or anything like that. But you can see here, at least on the NAM model, how close it kind of comes. You can see some of the wind barbs here along the Outer Banks. So it could be windy, could be rainy at times. But again, that rough surf is really going to be the headline. And that's going to really be the case for everyone along the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, Southeast coast. So if you're watching on Peter's New Jersey weather page tonight, you'll have some impacts from this as well, too. You can even see it, guys, on the surface prediction maps here that the NOAA Weather Prediction Center puts out. You can see they actually get that low pressure center pretty close right there to the Outer Banks. Do you guys think there's a chance that this could technically make landfall by skirting that Outer Banks?
Well, we don't have a system yet. I think that's the first thing. We don't have a close center yet. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So that's always a tough call here.
Yeah. I think it's going to be just enough off. I think the rough surf is going to be the big thing. And that's been, Jared, you could talk to this. That's been the big thing for the Carolina coast this hurricane season, not necessarily direct major impacts, but it's been more surf. I mean, we have our internal system and it's every day. It seems like the Weather Service in Wilmington and Charleston and reporting rip currents all throughout the Carolina coast, and that seems to be the big thing this year so far. And you know, rip currents are definitely dangerous, but if that's all we have to contend with this year, I think we'll count that as a blessing. But that's been the biggest thing with all these tropical systems, and I think with this system, if it becomes named or not named, I think, you know, rough surf is going to be another issue for the weekend here on the Carolina coast.
Yeah, I promised during Fred that I would never say it's only this strong. You can see here from Tropical Tidbits some of the computer renderings, and it's forecast to stay within a tropical storm, characteristic, and not necessarily strengthen into a hurricane. But, you know, we'll remind folks that so was Fred when it came across the Carolinas. We had just kind of that was a depression, right, at that point, if I recall? Yeah. Yep. But again, I think rough surf is kind of the number one. Rough surf, including rip currents.
Maybe some gusty showers. Yeah.
Gusty showers. But I think between the cold front, Nicholas, and this guy, we'll get some rain here across the Carolinas, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We've had some fairly warm, enjoyable days, and I had to get back into the habit of running the sprinkler. So if it saves me from running the sprinkler for a couple days, I like free water.
I'll send this over to you. I was just looking at it while you were talking about it, James, and this is the latest drought index, and this will be updated tomorrow. But, there's still a good portion of the Piedmont from Charlotte up to Raleigh and then back over towards Fayetteville and the PD region of South Carolina that's still abnormally dry. And as you were saying, James, we've got that cold front and the moisture from left over from Nicholas moving into the area, but I don't think it's going to be a widespread rain event that's really going to alleviate these dry conditions.